Starting this morning where we left off yesterday, against Montefiascone. Cheating a little bit, well, not cheating. I'm changing the official route today. It does a big S-curve. It goes a little bit too far to the east to start, and then later on it goes a little bit too far to the west. So I'm actually going to take a much straighter route. It doesn't make that much of a difference in some ways because it all starts off walking on road anyway. So I'm just going to take a shortcut. I know the roads here very well, and I know that large stretches of it don't have any pavement. You can hear the traffic already, probably. So I'm going to cut out a couple of those sections and hopefully avoid all the dangers of getting hit by cars and traffic. I probably should put the camera away now because I need to focus. There's not a proper pavement here, and I've got to pay attention. Okay, later. It's happened a few times now, but every time I've pulled out the camera to have a bit of a talk, tell you what's going on, cars have gone past. And I think it must be related to traffic lights or something, because it's been 5, 6, 7, 8 cars at a time. So we'll try and see what happens. The last lot have just gone past. And I can hear another one coming. Okay, never mind. The first part of the road was a little bit residential, but we are now out into more of the countryside. A lot of local people who are working on their allotments, the orti gardens, growing their vegetables. Actually, most of them, I've seen a couple now harvesting, sort of looking like they're getting ready for sort of the end of the summer vegetables. But overall it's road walking. It's a pretty nice Perth. On none of the routes really do you get a view of the lake, even though we're walking around the lake, so it doesn't really make that much difference. But as I said, it cuts out big curves that sort of go too far to the west and too far to the east, and this is a much more straight, direct route. Little sign here under the oak tree of the Pilgrims, Oak Tree, telling the story of the Swiss Guards. I'm getting the impression that the reason this is the oak tree of the Pilgrims Oak Tree, is because it's the first place that I found so far that you can actually sit, have a bit of a rest, and be in the shade. So I'm taking advantage of it. I'm going to have a snack in a moment. And this is the very end of the road walking for the moment. So I'm going to head off onto the small track here, and then I'll be joining the main route in probably about 5 minutes or so. But looking forward to that. And then it's a lot more up and down from this point. The road's been fairly flat, but time for a break. baby wine. Off the road, walking on another gravel path, pretty similar to yesterday. The scenery is absolutely amazing. Just glimpses of the lake at the moment, sort of vines off here, olive trees on the other side. It's absolutely fantastic. I've just had my first glimpse of Bolsena, so my destination today, right in the distance. Probably wouldn't show up in the camera, but it's a good reminder of where I'm heading. I'm only about 6 kilometres in. I've got another 14 or so to do today, but it's always good to be able to see where you're going, even if it's still quite a distance. Walking through this little stretch of the most beautiful woodland. The path is just incredible. Not very long. I can also hear other people. Keep an eye out for my footing. But the sunlight, the way the sunlight's showing through the leaves, the whole light is absolutely incredible. I think so far this is probably my favourite part of today's walk. Regretting not sitting down when I passed a bench about 15 minutes ago. I could do with a little bit of a rest, take the weight off my feet, just enjoying this, absolutely loving it. It is fantastic. The bit that I've just been walking on is very clearly a forestry road. We saw some workers a little way back, and I've had a couple of trucks go along, so we've had to step off the track. It's not a particularly wide track, but overall it's just me, the trees, wildlife, and a few more pilgrims than yesterday. Seen probably maybe 15-20 pilgrims and a bunch of cyclists as well, so it's quite busy. just on the last couple of kilometres into Bolsena. One of the things that's interesting about the Via Francigena, particularly in Italy, is that the stages end and start in various towns, cities. So often you're starting with, like I did this morning, with the ability to have something to eat in a cafe if you're not too late or too early. But also when you're coming to the end of the day, like today, we're back in sort of residential areas, we're back on gravelled roads. It's a little bit exposed, getting a little bit tired. It is very, very, very hot today, incredibly humid. I think the forecast for tomorrow is late thunderstorms. But looking forward to a sit down and, as always, a nice cold drink. And there it is, Bolsena. But no, we're not going that way. Because there's a hill that we can climb. It's true, Bolsena has disappeared behind us, but we do have this lovely woodland path that we're walking down. We're actually going a little bit downhill, and I'm guessing we're going to rise a little bit as we turn the corner and then head over to Bolsena. Here we are, the last 5-10 minutes into Bolsena. I'm going onto the main roads now and back into residential areas. According to my phone, it's just 16 kilometres, which is actually about 4 kilometres less than I thought it was. The shortcut was a lot shorter than I thought it was. But we'll see how it goes, just back down the hill, and I'll let you know when I get there. Well deserved.